to be connected and disconnected. I was kind of concerned that. Great. Do you have a signer for hearing impaired? Where will they be?
Usually right here.
Okay. Perfect. There's a speaker right here.
Yeah.
Send. Let's see.
We always.
Yeah, that's right. I put an empty cup in here.
Tree got. Yeah, please, they run out.
He wouldn't say that. He goes, I'll ask the board for his mower.
Yeah, 86.
Okay. Good morning. The management here at the Utica Aud has asked me to inform people who have parked in either the Labor Ready parking lot across the street or in Salvation Army that you're going to need to move your vehicles. They do tend to tow vehicles. They did last night for Proctor's ceremony, so please take care of that issue. Thank you. We'll start in 2 minutes.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, and welcome to the 81st annual commencement of Whitesboro High School. My name's Jeff Kuhn. I'm the proud principal of Whitesboro High School, and I'm ecstatic to be here and hope that the future is bright for all our graduates today. At this time, I'd like to introduce all the people on the stage, starting with our Board of Education, Mr. Thomas Shane Jr., President, Mr. Michael Head, Vice President, Mr. Edward Blake, Mr. Stephen Farr, Mr. John Harmon Jr., Mr. Brian McQueen, and Mr. Stephen Zacko. Also joining us on stage, the Whitesboro administration, Mr. Dave Langone, Superintendent of Schools, Mrs. Susan Sinikowski, Assistant Superintendent for Learning and Accountability, Mr. Paul Milagrano, Assistant Superintendent for Business, Mr. Brian Belair, Director of Special Programs and Services, Mr. Michael Duell, Director of Athletics, Physical Education and Health, Mrs. Beth Ann Blint, Director of Guidance, Counseling, and Pupil Personnel Services, and the people with the two hardest jobs at Whitesboro High School, my assistant principals, Mr. Mark Fry and Mr. Christopher O'Neill. At this time, I'd also like to recognize the staff that I get to work with every day, the teachers of the Whitesboro Central School District, and the essential non-instructional staff. Please stand. And finally, I haven't done this before, but I'd like to do it today. I'd like to acknowledge all the active duty and military veterans that are in the auditorium today. Could you please stand to be recognized? As the son of a Marine, I thank you for your service. And the most important people on stage today are students, our class officers, Stephen Gassner, President, Paige Lupini, Student Council President, Jacob Scott, our highest honor speaker, Julia Bora, Class Vice President, Claire Parisi, Secretary, Robert Wenner, Treasurer, and Brianna Langat, the Class Historian. Once again, congratulations to the Whitesboro High School class of 2016. Your families and friends should be proud of your many accomplishments. I would like to especially acknowledge the academic prowess of this group as they maintain the best class average in Whitesboro High School each year for all 4 years that they are at the high school. So congratulations. To the parents, thank you for your support. I am confident this class is going to continue their good works. This class has many excellent leaders. I wanted to acknowledge that with my reading today. My reading today is actually an entire book. This book is one of my favorite books on leadership. It's entitled The Little Red Hen. You probably started your career with a teacher in kindergarten reading you a book, so I thought it was appropriate to end your career today with a very short story. Once upon a time, a cat and a mouse and a dog and a little red hen all lived together in a cozy little house. The cat liked to sleep all day on the soft couch. The dog liked to nap all day on the sunny back porch. And the mouse liked to snooze all day in the warm chair by the fireside. So Little Red Hen had to do all the housework. She cooked the meals and washed the dishes and made the beds. She swept the floor and washed the windows and mended the clothes. She raked the leaves and mowed the grass and hoed the garden. One day, when she was hoeing the garden, she found some grains of wheat. "Who will plant this wheat?" cried the Little Red Hen. "Not I," said the cat. "Not I," said the dog. "Not I," said the mouse. "Then I will," said the Little Red Hen, and she did. Each morning, the Little Red Hen watered the wheat and pulled the weeds. Soon, the wheat pushed through the ground and began to grow tall. When the wheat was ripe, the Little Red Hen asked, "Who will cut this wheat?" "Not I," said the cat. "Not I," said the dog. "Not I," said the mouse. "Then I will," said the Little Red Hen, and she did. When the wheat was all cut, and the Little Red Hen asked, "Now, who will take this wheat to the mill to be ground into flour?" "Not I," said the cat. "Not I," said the dog. "Not I," said the mouse. "Then I will," said the Little Red Hen, and she did. The Little Red Hen returned from the mill carrying a small bag of fine white flour. "Who will make a cake from this fine white flour?" asked the Little Red Hen. "Not I," said the cat. "Not I," said the dog. "Not I," said the mouse. "Then I will," said the Little Red Hen, and she did. She gathered sticks and made a fire in the stove. Then she took milk and sugar and eggs and butter and mixed them in a big bowl with the fine white flour. When the oven was hot, she poured the cake batter into a shining pan and put it in the oven. Soon, a delicious smell filled the cozy little house. The cat got off the soft couch and strolled into the kitchen. The dog got up from the sunny back porch and came into the kitchen. The mouse jumped down from his warm chair and scampered into the kitchen. The Little Red Hen was just taking a beautiful cake out of the oven. "Who will eat this cake?" asked the Little Red Hen. "I will," cried the cat. "I will," cried the dog. "I will," cried the mouse. But the Little Red Hen said, "All by myself, I planted the wheat. I tended the wheat. I cut the wheat. I took the wheat to the mill to be ground into flour. All by myself, I gathered the sticks. I built the fire. I mixed the cake. And all by myself, I am going to eat it." And so she did, to the very last crumb. After that, whenever there was work to be done, the Little Red Hen had 3 very eager helpers. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to introduce some of Whitesboro's Little Red Hens, leaders in the classroom. These are our highest honor students. These students have achieved a 4-year average of 96 or higher. Please stand as I call your name. Mark Arcuri, Jr. Dylan Asper. Tori Barone. On stage, Julia Bora. Kevin Brennan. Kaylee Brindizzi. Andrew Buck. Alexander Filmer. On stage, Stephen Gassner. Nicholas Heinz. Taylor Klosik. Paige Lupini on stage. Caitlin Mahardy. Thomas Manna. Marissa Marthage. Ryan McAndrew. On stage, Claire Parisi. On stage, Jacob Scott. Jordan Upson. Allison Wormuth. And on stage, Robert Wenner. Congratulations to all the highest honor students. It's my pleasure to introduce the representative of the highest honors students, Jacob Scott.
Have fun.
I'll do my best. All right. Wow. There are a lot of you. So I'm admittedly a little bit nervous, but I gave a speech way back in like 3rd grade and it was pretty all right, so hopefully this will be good too. Now I have a very well-prepared speech that was approved by Mr. Kuhn and perfected with the help of Mrs. DeCurzio. But before that, this morning, I realized that I could make a lot of money with this speech. I realized that people were willing to bet me money that I would not do things on stage. And some of them I won't, but there are a few things I will do. For example, Josh Gregory over here bet me $50 that I would not quote SpongeBob in my address. Josh, the only thing sea bears hate more than running is crawling. $50, it's that easy, it's that easy. Ryan McAndrew right there bet me $25 that I would not dance on stage. That's an easy one, there's the Macarena. $75 already. Allie Ledoux back there bet me $20 that I wouldn't say her name during the speech. Allie. And Kaylee Brindizzi bet me $50 that I would not take a selfie while on stage with the crowd. Well, everybody please put on a great smile and please no duck faces. There we go, perfect. I just made $200 in under 2 minutes and raised Mrs. DeCurzio's blood pressure to 200/200. So I'd say that's a win-win-win. But one last thing before I get on to my speech. To whatever committee or person thought it was a good idea to give me, Jacob Scott, the microphone in front of over 1,000 people with 2 amazing jumbotrons. Well, we should talk, because anyone who knows me knows that Mr. Fry over here is going to have one last issue with the class of 2016, and that will be prying me away from this microphone after the first hour. So sit tight. I'll begin this address, as so many do, with some thank yous. But rather than a long list of individual thank yous, I would instead like to reference the strong sense of community we have here at Whitesboro. Therefore, I will issue a blanket thank you to the entire Whitesboro community. If you are here today, you are a part of that community that has made us who we are. And we, the class of 2016, thank you. Good. Maybe one quick individual thank you to keep myself out of hot water. Thanks, Mom, for all that you have done. She'll probably stand up, but you won't be able to tell. Now, in preparing to give this speech, I watched several commencement addresses, I read a lot of transcripts, I did my homework, as will surprise you. And I saw that a lot of them started, ever so cleverly, with a definition. However, as I contemplated that option, I realized that the dictionary definition of cliché is using a dictionary definition to begin an address. So I will refrain from doing that. Instead, I'm going to start with a date. Now, it's a date that many of you may not initially recognize as significant, but it's a date that is very important nonetheless. That date is September 8th, 2003. This is the day when the students in this room began kindergarten and our journey through the Whitesboro Central School District. And for some of us, what a journey that has been. It is when, waving goodbye to our parents, some of us laughed, some of us cried, and some of us, quite frankly, had no idea what was going on. You know the type. But we saw a big yellow bus with people our age on it, and they looked all right, so we climbed aboard. And thus, the journey began. Now, to put this in context for you, way back in September of 2003, the iPhone was not yet invented, and neither were Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. In fact, MySpace, yes, MySpace, was the predominant social media website. George Bush was still the president, South Sudan didn't even exist, and my good friend, Mr. Donald J. Trump, was just a reality TV star. Needless to say, a lot has happened in the world since we first climbed aboard that big yellow bus. For example, some of you guys have gotten and grown exponentially taller, while some of us who haven't grown have had to settle for growing beards. However, a lot has happened inside the confines of the schools we have attended as well. We've gone on field trips to beaver dams, whale watches, the state capitol, New York City, Europe, Costa Rica, and even to the world-famous Potato Hill Farms. An inordinate number of trips to Potato Hill Farms when you look back on it. We have had moving up days and 5th grade track meets. We have won league and sectional titles and have competed in and won countless science Olympiads, envirothons, and tech fairs. Our music department has amazed us excuse me guys, holy moly. Our music department has put on countless stellar concerts and competed all over the East Coast. You heard them today, they were fantastic. And our art department has amazed us with art shows containing drawings better than the picture you can take on a state-of-the-art iPhone. Trust me, I've tried. Our musicals have packed the auditorium, and physics days have proven the age-old theorem, as articulated by world-renowned Whitesboro physicist Mr. Buzz Putnam, that physics is indeed fun. Our athletic fields have been revitalized, and honest to goodness, we have an electron scanning microscope now. We really do. That is a lot of great stuff for the low admission cost of 3 steps onto a big yellow bus. However, here at Whitesboro, we are an institution of higher learning, of course. So I would be remiss if I didn't mention the academic side of our growth and experience as well. We were the first children of the infamous No Child Left Behind generation, meaning we were tested, and then retested, and then tested again, and then tested on how well we had been tested. We took regents after final, after Common Core test, after AP, after SAT, after ACT, after pre-assessment, after post-assessment. We opted in, we opted out, and at times, we had no option at all. In fact, had we known all this beforehand, maybe we wouldn't have gone onto that big yellow bus. But despite all of this, despite the pencils and papers and trees sacrificed, despite the writer's cramp, test anxiety, and late-night cram sessions, despite the hours spent hunched over standardized tests, we have not devolved into mindless test takers. We are not academic drones. Instead, we have persevered and pursued our own passion, forged our own path. Amongst us, right now in this room, we have artists and athletes, musicians and scientists, mathematicians and magicians, thinkers and tinkerers. And you know what? That is incredible. That is passion. That is what we and this world needs. Because I'm going to share with you guys a pretty big secret. Keep it in this room, just a few of us. Michael Jordan did not start playing basketball way back when with the expectation of signing with the Bulls and getting rich. He had a passion. Bill Gates and Steve Jobs did not spend days in sweaty, cramped garages creating Microsoft and Apple so that they could break the Fortune 500 list. They had a passion. Albert Einstein was not checking goodcareers.com for the career with the brightest outlook when he came up with E=mc². He had a passion. And even little-known Oliver Evans did not invent the refrigerator because refrigerator inventors were on Forbes' top 25 best-paid employees of 1748. In fact, not to discourage any of you aspiring refrigerator inventors, it's still not on that list. No, Mr. Evans had a passion to invent, and something as essential and ubiquitous as the refrigerator that sits in all of our homes, hopefully full of graduation food soon, is the result of that passion. So today, I want to urge you to do the same. Do not jump headlong onto the hamster wheel. Do not mindlessly pursue a college or a career path because someone showed you a big number with a little $sign next to it. Pursue things because you're passionate about them, because you want to make change, because you want to forge your own path, rather than follow the well-worn footpath of those who chase security and finance. If I weren't avoiding cliches, this is where I would quote Robert Frost's The Road Less Traveled. Money is important, as any of you looking at college expenses, I'm sure there are a few in here, can attest. But that is not what changes the world. Passion is what changes the world. It is passion that makes the difference. Passion is what took us to the moon and gave us the iPhone. Passion is what built skyscrapers and bridges. Passion is what wrote great literature, cured diseases, and earned Nobel Prizes. And most important of all, passion is what gave us the refrigerator. If you're noticing a pattern here, good, you should be. Because people from CEOs to scientists to athletes to refrigerator inventors have followed a passion, and as a result have accomplished great feats, feats the world must thank them for. Passion is what we need. The world is counting on us for it, and it is our job to follow through. Friends, the amazing 12 years we have spent together since climbing aboard that big yellow bus, growing, learning, and laughing, has given us tremendous experience and virtually limitless potential. Do not squander the head start we have been given. Use all that you have learned here, that you have done here, and the relationships that you have built here. Use them. And with all that in mind, I would like to leave you with this simple request. I don't want to be bossy. Do not squander it all chasing $signs or goals others have set for you. Use these lessons, experiences, and relationships to pursue your own passion, to forge your own path, to make your own change. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but for this next journey, the one we're all about to embark on, there is no big yellow bus coming to pick us up and bring us there. As scary as it is knowing some of the drivers that are in the audience right now, we are our own drivers of our own big yellow bus now. And while we are the drivers, as cliche as it may sound, passion is what is going to fuel that bus. Be passionate, my friends. I cannot wait to see all that you will accomplish. Thank you, class of 2016.
It's my pleasure to introduce the class president of the class of 2016, Stephen Gassner.
So I researched the significance for why we wear these goofy caps and these long gowns for graduation. It turns out the caps are a symbol of power, but the gowns, the only historical reason why we wear the gowns is because medieval buildings didn't have heating. They wore these just for warmth. Who knew, right? It's like they were graduating on an ice rink or something. It was a nice icebreaker, wasn't it? Graduates, today is a day that's all about us, our achievements, our challenges, everything that made today possible for us. And that's fine. We all need a day that's all about us. But we must be aware that our culture is becoming more and more self-centered. Every time something exciting happens in our lives, we feel compelled to share it, to post it, to talk about it. We soak up as much approval as we can from it. A thumbs up here, a gold star there. And on the other end, we watch what others share, the fun, new ventures they're taking each day, and we give our approval, as if we're some sort of audience to their life stories. But these life stories, they're an illusion. When we express ourselves, we get to tweak how we appear to others. When we tell a story, we have the liberty of leaving out the parts we dislike and inflating the parts we do like. It's dishonest, in a way. It makes a performance seem much more ideal than real life. It doesn't always show who we really are or what's really going on. And it's not just us. People everywhere are taught, express yourself, be yourself, and that we'll all find our way in this world. But I think that at such a large scale of self-expression, we're actually doing the opposite. We're constantly comparing ourselves to each other, and in doing so, we're losing touch with reality. We're all guilty of this. We try to be different, but at the same time, we try to be the same. I say this because we're going to start hearing people asking about what we plan to do as we embark on this next great chapter of our lives. People will watch what we do next, like we're some sort of characters in a story whose ending they just can't wait to see. But life isn't a storybook. It's not a movie or a TV show. And we are certainly not characters. Who wants to live that kind of life, where people are always watching you, having an opinion about you, free to comment on how they think you're doing? Who cares what they think? You're not a character in their story. You are a human being who is just trying to figure out your purpose. The point is, it would be very insincere of me to stand here and wish you luck on the next great chapter of your lives, but I will tell you genuinely that no matter what life throws your way, I hope each and every one of you stay happy, and happy with yourselves. We all have different circumstances. We have different problems. We have different problems, abilities, and abilities to deal with those problems. But every single one of us has a reason to be happy, and I don't want any of you to lose sight of that. Graduates, it's going to be a rough couple of years for a lot of us, but when hard times hit, I encourage you to bounce back. You guys had a ball with that one. Realize that you are not a slave to other people's expectations. People might try to show it off on Instagram or Snapchat when they think they have their lives figured out, but the truest happiness, the best happiness, is the kind that the cameras never see, because life is far from a storybook. Life is messy. It's not going to be easy, Whitesboro, but we'll find our way. It's okay if you feel like you have no idea what you're doing, because most of us feel the same exact way, even when we don't show it. We're all in the same struggle in reality, and if you can get through it without a pat on the back from those around you, then I think that is what will make you truly happy. Thank you.
At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce the Superintendent of Schools of the Whitesboro Central School District, Mr. Dave Langone.
I'm just glad he caught the ball. Good morning. Thank you to all of our families and friends and staff, boards of education members and administrators. It is a whole community, but most importantly, to the graduates of the class of 2016. We have much to be thankful for today, much to be grateful for, and much to be congratulated for along the way. I'm quite sure that all of the people that have been mentioned earlier in the speeches have a little bit of trepidation about what comes next. You see, our Board of Education, our faculty, and our staff have been charged with getting you college, career, and citizenship ready. A tall order. A tall order. Your families and friends and community are charged with getting you life ready. A tall order. I can tell you at 17 or 18 years of age, I don't believe looking back now I was any of those things. So I'm sure that the trepidation that you're feeling and that our staff is feeling and that your family is feeling is well deserved. But there come a time in everyone's life where you have to turn the page. You have to decide how you're going to move forward. But as you turn the page to this next chapter, I would like you to think of it as not as a book that you're reading, but rather as one that you're writing. Your memoirs, your diary. And every word that you write, every sentence that you create, every sentence and paragraph that you form, and every chapter you complete just takes you one step closer. This is not the end. This is not your destination. This is part of your journey. How do you want to create the rest of your life? What words do you want to use? What sentences do you want to form? What paragraphs do you want to complete? And I would contend that in order for you to be happy, you want to use that passion that we heard about when you write your diary. And in order to do that best, you have to do it with a positive attitude. It's been said many times that it is your attitude, not your aptitude, that will determine your altitude. It is very easy in today's world, and we heard about these, all of the pressures, to be negative. And I would encourage you today to find the strength to go forward, to be positive in your attitude, to write each word, to form each sentence, to complete each paragraph and chapter as positively as possible, and it will lead to a happiness far greater than those that are trying to do the same thing without the positive attitude. I congratulate you. I hope that you have the feeling that you are thankful that you had the opportunity to be students of the Whitesboro Central School District, because I certainly am very thankful that I've been allowed to be your superintendent. Thank you very much and congratulations. The President of the Whitesboro Central School Board, Thomas Shane Jr.
Good morning. A few months ago, my son did a hockey tournament in Boston with a team from New Jersey. It was made up of kids from upstate New York City, Long Island, and New Jersey. These kids didn't know each other, but they played together like they've been playing with each other for 10 years. I've never seen a bunch of kids that were kind, courteous, and respectful. And usually when your kids from other states get together, they're very vicious with each other. As the weekend went on, I got to know the parents very well. and they were big on character. They thought that it was losing its luster now and that everything was about entitlement. They were big that their sons shake your hand and make eye contact. They were big on words like unselfishness, respect, loyalty. And one night we were out at dinner, and they said to me, what do the people of upstate think about character? And I said, well, in my house I have 4 pillars of character, and I am very tough on my boys about this. The first one to me is respect. You must respect yourself before you respect others. Respect is earned, not given. Number 2 is discipline. Be disciplined in academics, arts, athletics, life. Be a master of self-discipline. 3, your work ethic. This applies to everything. It'll make or break you. You control your own destiny. Give 110%. Class. You can't buy it. You can be an affluent blue blood and be totally without class, or you can be a descendant of a Welsh miner and have class oozing from every pore. The next day, we made it to the championship against the #1 team in the country. It was 1-1 with 10 minutes left to go in the game. And the kids, they lost their legs. The other team had too much speed. We lost, but I could never have been more proud of these group of fine young men. So after the game, the coach asked the parents to come into the locker room, which is very rare for any sport because that's not allowed. So we went in there, we sat there was some heartaches, and he said, what a fine group of men you are. I've never seen character like this. He said, character got you here today, and character will get you there tomorrow. And John Wooden once said, be more concerned with character than your reputation, because character is what you really are. Your reputation is merely what others think of you. And I'm going to read to you one of my favorite poems by Herb Score. I use it every day in my life. It's called The Man in the Glass. When you get what you want in your struggles for self, and the world makes you king for a day, just go to the mirror and look at yourself and see what the man has to say. For it's not your mother or your father or your wife whose judgment must pass. The fellow whose verdict counts the most in your life is the one staring you in the glass. You may be like Jack Horner and Chisel Plum and think you're a wonderful guy, but if the man in the glass says you're only a bum if you cannot look him straight in the eye. But he is the fellow to please, never mind all the rest, for he is clear with you to the end. And when you've passed your most dangerous, difficult test, if the man in the glass is your friend, you may feel the whole world down the pathway of years and feel pats on the back as you pass. But your final reward will be heartache and tears if you've cheated the man in the glass. Thank you, congratulations, and good luck. At this time, I'd like to call up Vice President, Mr. Mike Head, to hand out the diplomas.
It's my pleasure to present to you the Whitesboro High School class of 2016.
Stephen William Gassner. Paige Marie Lupini. Jacob Philip Scott. Julia Gabriel Bora. Claire Teresa Parisi. Robert Charles Wenner. Brianna Nicole Langet. Mark Anthony Arcuri, Jr. Dylan Anthony Asfer. Tori Nicole Barone. Kevin Jesse Brennan. Kaylee Marie Brindisi. Andrew Michael Buck. Alexander James Filmer. Nicholas Anthony Heinz. Taylor Jude Classic. Caitlin Ann Mahardy. Thomas Peter Manna. Marissa Lee Marthage. Ryan Thomas McAndrew. Jordan Lynn Upson. Allison Nicole Warmouth. Barina Ajanovic. Ferris Tarek Barakat. Andrew Paul Barnes. Erica Lynn Beretta. Frankie Marie Bartolome. Nicole Renee Batten. Just no Don, right? Taryn Beatty. Ariana Marie Belucio. Matthew Medell Benincasa. Fallon Hope Berg. Tori Lynn Biamonte. Ian Roger Billings. Christina Marie Borza. Marie Elizabeth Estelle Boswell. Audrey Mae Brzezinski. Matthew John Brower. Bryce Allen Brown. Hunter Michael Brown. Tyler Zachary Burr. James Anthony Bushy. Matthew Curtis Cadwell. Anthony Nicholas Camardo, Jr. Darnay Isaiah Camp. Shelby Lynn Kerrigan. Alexis Shelby Caro. Amy Lynn Ciola. Mia Joan Shingalini. Holly Ann Clark. Joshua Stewart Clark. Patrick Tyler Coffin. Rena Paige Calandra. Jenna Elizabeth Kalia. Tatiana Elizabeth Culver. Kiara Sherez Conti. Anthony, what's up, buddy? Good luck, all right? Anthony John Coppola. Kenneth Thomas Creaser. Catherine Elizabeth Curtassi. Nicholas Louis DeSantis. Mitchell Wade Dewey. Congratulations. Nerman Desdadovich. Dale Rodney Dodge. Cassandra Mary Ducharme. Janelle Catherine Fallon. James William Carlos Field. Corinne Wu Filippelli. Jared Richard Fisher. Mackenzie Cecile Flehan. Michael James Flood. Michael Thomas Foresti. Cody Stewart Fowler. Thomas Mark Goddick. Sean Patrick Gaffney. Michaela Nicole Gallagher. Juliana Kimberly Germond. Nicholas John Geruzzi. J. Paul Michael Gray. Joshua Wayne Gregory. Roman Anton Grezik. Zachary David Hadis. Danielle Marie Hansel. Jordan Marie Hazeltine. Rachel Elizabeth Head. Sarah Rose Heaton. Natalie Rose Hillage. Victoria Nicole Hocking. Devin Michael Austin Hook. Tara Ann Humiston. Ryan Andrew Humphrey. Darian Ray Hurwitz. Hey, please do. Lindsay Caitlin Jennings. Brandon Barry Jones. That's customer. Rebecca Francis Giuliano. Tyler John Kane Schiffinger. Logan Alexander Kashuba. Alexis Paige Kita. Christy Lynn Kerr. Shane Michael Kimball. Nicole Marie Kuhn. Christopher Andrew Lacombe. Anthony Pasquale Lagada. Joseph James LaGuardia. Ryan Joseph Lamank. Lauren Elizabeth Lapertosa. Zachary William Latala. Connor Joseph LeBuy. Alexandra Lynn Ledoux. Alexandra Nicole Leonis. Dina Adriana Leskovich.
Georgia Cindy Linfield. Daniel Paul Leibold. Caitlin Marie Maggiolino. Ryan Thomas Mahar. Michaela Lee Mayolo. Brianna Nicole Manin. Chloe Manzari. Isaac James Marsh. Taylor Donna Mason. John Anthony Matt IV. Courtney Lynn Metacarpa. Zachary Matthew Medura. Michaela Eileen Miller. Michael Kenneth Moreland. Mark Thomas Morial. Todd Christian Mull. Brendan Scott Murphy. Connor Christopher Murphy. Sydney Ray Nicolette. Bethany Ann Noble. Okay. Colin Robert O'Connor. Garrett James O'Connor. Morgan Alyssa O'Connor. Kaylin Maria Olivides. Brian Christopher Orr. Brian Michael Passator. Sandra Danielle Payne. Victoria Rose Pellegrino. Paul Noah Phipps. Trevor Reese Plettle. Jillian Susan Pouliot. Samuel Owen Obadiah Puckey. Alyssa Marie Rega. Jacob Andrew Ravinsky. Jacob Herrick Reiling. Justine Michelle Roan. Alexander Michael Rich. Adriana Victoria Rotundo. Ryan Edward Rowlands. Danielle Elaine Royal. Nathan William Salisbury. Jessica Lynn Sardina. Mariah Christina Scalzo. Corey Lewis Schofield. Brent Michael Schultz. Marley Brooke Sheldon. Alyssa Marie Sedgwick. Rachel Elizabeth Surgat. Andrew Michael Sexton. Zachary Michael Shepard. Derek Richard Sika. Matthew John Scouren. Courtney Lynn Slattery. Trevor Jordan Sloan. Stephanie Mary Smith. William Anderson Smith III. Nicole Ann Snyder. Christina Diana Sorrento. Brittany Janet Spina. Samantha Rose Staley. Jordan Robert Allen Steely. Morgan Beatrice Steer. Madison Lee Stevens. Justine Olivia Strusbeck. Scott Sean Sykes, Jr. Emma Grace Taylor. Aaron Lee Thomas. Delos Joseph Thurston. Johnny Albert Torado, Jr. Michael Joseph Todaro II. Brian Van Tran. Caitlin Amber Tripp. Lauren Alyssa Tripp. Tyler Adam Tripp. Corey Robert Tucker. Jessica Caitlin Tuttle. William Nicholas Van Court. Nicole Marie Vasco. Emma Vodanovic. Marley Rose Waterman. Quanasia Michelle Watkins. Alexis Rose Webster. Tyler Jordan Whaley. James Michael Wheeler. John Andrew Wheeler. Alexandria Marie Whitney. Ernest James Wilgus. Justina Amelia Wilkinson. Brian Joseph Williams. Gabriel Kyle Wise. Jarrett Ralph Wojtowicz. Victoria Ann Margaret Wyman. Jonathan James Zajac. Joshua David Zaleski. Tyler Berry. Gavin Butler. Joseph Crabb. Skylar David. Aubriana Michaela Dawson. Emily Harbor. Tyler Novak. Kiana Nijong. Alexandria Elizabeth Riley. Caitlin Smith. Andrew Joseph Sobel. Colin Stewart. Augustus James Warren Whitling.
Fellow classmates, please stand. As president of the class of 2016, and on behalf of the graduates here, I accept these diplomas representing the completion of our high school education. You did it.
Oh, it's yours?
Yeah. Thank you.